Hey there YouTube, and welcome to a much overdue common barn update. It's been a good month, I think, since my last, well, not just my last update, since any video. So I thought it was high time that I got one uploaded. Now, my last few videos were mainly focusing on local news and the diesel gala running session and things like that. And I do try and do some scenic work in between local and rolling stock work. So I've done some. I haven't progressed with the layout as much as I would have liked, but I've got certainly one area is finished up now and done. I've just got one other area left to do, and then well we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So we'll see what we've been up to. So if I go down this end, now if you remember, the platform had been in an unfinished state for quite some time. You know, ever since I did the extension, I wasn't overly happy with how this end was looking. So I've cracked on and got that finished. Things we've done is we've just finished the flagging off. You know, this whole section here in front of the bench and all around there, the flagging never really got finished. So I've gone along with the flagging. I've carried on the bit of the crazy paving look. We've flagged around the water crane, which has now been added. If you remember, in a couple of videos back I got those white metal kits. The water crane was one, so that's in there with the drain, and a little pump there as well. As I said, finished the flagging, that's all been weathered. I've tried to keep the weathering going along the whole thing. It does just need one last touch up there along the white lining. You can just see faintly under the weathering where I've had a bit of a boom. But yeah, thankfully and gladly this end of the platform is now finished. The other thing I would like to add to this end is some sort of welcome sign, you know, to the station. I did make one, didn't come out great, so we scrapped it, but that is one thing I'd like to add down this area. As well as the water crane, the bench is back in, the figures are back in, you know, the other things, the bin there, the plant pots. I've also added now the gas lamps. There's one on each side of the shelter there. Again, from out of that white metal collection of items should I say, that I had. Painted them up. I know they're not powered, but they look good, you know, keeping with the preserve theme, I think. So yeah, the platform area is now looking complete now. It was really bugging me with this, you know, this whole section here at the end was just unfinished, untidy, and I'd left it for so long. So we've now got the completed version now, obviously with the addition of that water crane. The large one that was there has now gone. This is much more in scale and, you know, prototypical. So there we have it. One of the areas that needed doing is now done, the platform. So as well as the platform, the other area which has been pretty much untouched and not done for a while has been the yard area. Looking at it, it doesn't look like much has changed, but I'm well on the way now with knowing what I'm wanting to do. Just to start off at the front of the yard, I've lost that bunting what went from this pole across to this pole. It was just blocking the view of the yard, so the bunting's carried on around down the back of the layout, down the back of the platform, but I've lost it, you know, along the front. Starting in the yard, nothing has changed on this side. The only thing what's changed here is, if you remember in the Vulcan update, I showed you the pair of legs from the driver. I've ditched them from the yard. They're now under the Mini. So that's either someone trapped under that burnt out Mini, or it's someone working on it ready to be towed off. Looks better there, I think. So yeah, this side, you know, it's untouched. We now have the addition of a grounded van body. Now grounded van bodies have always been something I've liked the look of, and I don't actually have. This was the only van, you know, rolling stock wise that I had. So I couldn't resist but, you know, have a pop at doing a grounded van body. So that one, as you can see, it's rail freight. Got the wet and dry out, taken the logos off here and there, and then that is just a series of washes, black and brown washes, over the body. Picked out the metalwork and rust colours. The roof has some slight weathering, you know, along those gutter lines there. I've also added a metal patch on the top. If I just turn it round, weathered the end, and this is also going to be the common barred chicken house. So I put a little hole in there, a coffee stirrer plank, get some chickens sat around it. Not yet finished, it needs all the paraphernalia and some overgrowth around it, but yeah, that's one of the bigger changes to this bit of yard. Just behind that you can see a pipe load. I've made that myself. That was like you get these styluses for touch screens. It was a broken one from work, so chopped the ends off. It is actually metal, is that, so a little bit more realistic. It was orange, so I took it off, give it a weathering. You can see it's quite shiny. Could do with a matte varnish, but that's sat there for now. Over here, now I've always said that I was going to have this yard crane there. That was like an unfinished project, was that yard crane, painting wise. So I've revisited it, finished off the painting. The metal body of the crane is the majority of it is rusty. And then the base, just picked out the brown stonework, and the white line there around the edge. As you can see, it's set on lollipop sticks to hold it level. So the groundwork needs doing there. All the groundwork needs doing on this side of the yard, actually. That hut there, that was pretty much done. Just needed the inside painting, so the insides have been painted on that as well. So that's just ready for, you know, little details added. Another thing that's been added is the caravan in the yard. This is one of those white metal kits again. Now when I'd built this, it was always my plan to have it in the yard somewhere, but just hanging around. And then I think it was Callum, or Mr. SDJ7F88, had the idea of having it as a staff, you know, staff hangout. So painted it, weathered it up, boarded up the windows front and side there, and the back one but you can't see. Added a to let lettering down the side. It's just heavily weathered, got a load of washes over it, some streaks. So once it's blended in with paraphernalia etc, should look alright. And then over here by the signal box there's just that Wickham trolley cart. Might not be staying there, but I need it in the yard somewhere, just hanging around, so I need to finish that with some items inside. So that's the yard area, so it's not yet finished, but it's getting there. So any ideas you have for that yard area? I know yards are quite, you know, you can do anything in a yard, can't you? But if you've got any little touches or anything that you think would look good, then let me know. So that's the majority of the work done on the layout. Now I'm not finished talking about the layout, but before I tell you the next bit, I just want to show you a piece of rolling stock that I finished. So bear with and I'll just route that out and we'll have a look. Back in a second. Right, and here is that that finished piece of rolling stock, and as you can see it's the white metal crane that I constructed a while back. It's been sat on the paint table a little while, so I finally got around to doing it. I managed to pick up a nice bright green that I wanted it in. I got the idea from the colour from Worth Valley Railway just down the road. They have a nice big green steam crane, nice bright green. So that's decided that's what I wanted. So I got the crane painted, added the chain. I need to make a hook for it, that's all. Picked out the wooden boards that it's sat on, and then the whole running plate and these support stanchions at the ends just in black. I was going to have the beams in red, but there was just too much going on, too many colours, so the whole thing's gone to black. Now unfortunately it doesn't actually run on the layout. I think the white metal frame, it must be skew width somewhere. It does like to derail on corners, or that could actually be down to the fact it's 6 wheels. 6 wheel stock doesn't always go around the corners on common barn, so I've not got it running properly yet, but hopefully it might feature in some videos. But I'm just glad to get it done. Glad to get it done, really. So it's sat there on the exhibition plinth, looking rather smart. Quirky looking wagon. You don't normally see cranes like this really, with these stanchions on the ends, but I like it. Whilst we're here, the only addition to this area is I've started to add flowers in the exhibition area. Need to add a lot more yet. These are lupins. Some come off there on the garage roof. I need to put them back in, but yeah, and I have that lots of flowers in that area, I think. So yeah, got the crane finished. Right, now that we've finished looking at the layout, the update is now done. I suppose now would be a good time to talk about my plans. I think I'm coming to the point where common barns get into a more or less completed state. Now I know I've said this before, way back when, you know, I had the scrapyard theme, or even before that when common barn was more modern. But I really do think this time, you know, it's going to be done. I wanted it done, and I think it's just come to the end as common barn. You know, we're coming up towards 50 updates. 50 updates for a 6-foot board. It's quite a lot. So I'm hoping the next video I do on common barn, rather than being a common barn update, may be a common barn finished video. Now I know they say layouts are never really done, but as I say, you know, I'm kind of thinking common barn's run its course now. Obviously there's loads of snagging jobs and things I want to do before it is finished. So I mean, I want the yard done, and the extension board along the front here. There's loads of little detailing items that I want to add there. And then maybe I need to finish it off with the side scenes. We used to have one down this end here. I wouldn't mind having that back, and then something at the end down there as well by the road. But yeah, so there's lots of little jobs, you know, to crack on with to get it in a what I would class as finished. And then when I get to that stage, you know, of it being finished, well, there's one of two plans that I think will happen. Once it's done, obviously I'd like to make space for something different. I won't be doing another layout like this one. You know, this is a fiddle yard to a terminus. The next one will be some form of circuit, some form of loop. If there's one thing that annoys me, it's not being able to just sit back and watch the trains go by when I'm working on the workbench opposite. So it will be a loop. I've always said I'm not a fan of loops, you know, unless they're quite big layouts that actually, you know, go a distance. But you know, my interests, you know, I've got quite a heavy interest in 009 scale. I quite like the small loops that they make, you know, the pizza based style of things. So even if it's just some sort of loop, I think I'll be happy. This will also be good. I mean, there's 5 sets of points. Well, sorry, there's 4 sets of points on common barn, and another 4 in the fiddle yard. And as you know, being a shunter fan, not all shunters appreciate these points, so just have a good circuit that I know every single one of my locos will run on, you know, make me happy. So that's the plan. And then with Common Barn, well, I'm trying to palm it off to my good friend David. Obviously I'll need to make space somehow if I want to do something different, so I know he'd take care of it. I know he'd appreciate and look after it, so we'll see. That may happen, that may not. I just don't know. I just know I'm ready for something different, and I think you lot as viewers are as well. You know, the views and comments, they've disappeared over a few months, and you know, and I ain't doing this for glory seeking or anything like that. And I know that I have a very good group of, you know, you lot on there who watch every single one, comment on every single one, appreciate and enjoy it. And I thank you very much for that. But I just think it's time for something different. Keep you all interested. Keep me interested as well, I think. So yeah, so that's where I think I'm heading. So hopefully the next video on Common Barn will be a finished video. That's the aim. And then after that, well, we'll take it from there. There will be the other videos. There will be a loco update coming along. Got loads and loads of loco news, lots and lots of loco news to show you all. So that will be coming along. And then hopefully, as I mentioned in the last video, I have got another little project layout up my sleeve that I've started and that I'd like to get finished, but maybe do something a bit different with, maybe you know, exhibition standard, I don't know. So there is that to show you in the new year. But yeah, so I'm planning some changes, but for now, you know, this was hopefully the last Common Barn update. You'll see before it's finished. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. So see you later. Bye bye.